Hi, I'm Francine Ballard, Style Editor at Large for PaperCity Magazine, and I'm here with Leila Scott Mitchell-Price from the Center for the Healing Arts and Sciences.
Yeah.
And we're going to dig deep today and talk about a little bit about Chinese medicine, holistic wellness, and how COVID has affected us all and how we can take care of ourselves better. Why don't you tell me exactly what it is that you do there at the center?
Well, I co-founded the center with my husband, John Price, and we have a team of practitioners. We treat people holistically, collaboratively. Our endeavor is to treat people in mind, body, and spirit. So we offer acupuncture, Chinese medicine, several different modalities of psychotherapy, mindfulness, meditation, spirituality guidance.
That's wonderful. So tell me the kinds of things that people would typically come to you to be treated for.
Just about anything. I'd say if you don't need an ambulance, please come see us. You know, if somebody's having an emergent condition, you know, if it's a heart attack, if it's a severed limb, you need emergency room care, you know. But if somebody is well and just wants to stay that way,
yeah,
we're for you, you know.
Great.
If you are the person who normally feels optimal and something's going on, you've seen your Western medical professional and they've done every lab that they possibly could do and they're telling you you're fine, but you know you're not fine. Something is off, you know. You can come see us then. And then if you also are diseased, if you have a diagnosis and you are needing Western medical interventions, you know, we can help offset some of the side effects and stuff that goes on with hardcore stuff.
Have you seen an uptick in people coming in with sort of anxiety or depression issues as of late?
Yeah, by 30% or so.
Oh, wow. Okay. And what is the typical course of action? So let's just say that I come to you as a new patient and I say, I'm having a hard time sleeping at night. I feel like I have some anxiety. Would you just consult with them and say, look, here's what I recommend, and then recommend sort of a program of...
Yeah, usually people call in with an idea of what they want. So maybe they're wanting to start with psychotherapy or they're wanting to start with acupuncture and they don't realize that everything we have to offer can holistically help them even more effectively than just using one of the modalities. But of course it's okay for them to go about it just however they had intended when they called. But we're going to take their entire medical history, you know, everything that's gone on, everything that's going on with their lives today. We really want to consider every aspect because often people don't realize that even if it's like a sleeplessness issue or an emotional issue or just a physical issue, that it really is affecting every aspect of them.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you typically would recommend a combination of what, Chinese medicine and acupuncture?
Yeah, so acupuncture is shorthand for what Chinese medicine offers. Chinese medicine in itself is a holistic system of medicine. So acupuncture, cupping, tuina type of therapeutic massage, of course the herbs and food therapy, lifestyle advice, you know, it's all part of it.
Why don't you tell me about your path to this and what drew you to the field and why you believe that it is so powerful?
Okay, well, growing up, I just kind of wanted my body to do its thing. If I was offered a Tylenol or something like that, it was just instinctive. I wanted to see how my body would handle something on its own. And I was always saying I wanted to be a doctor, but I was going to heal people naturally. And when people would say, what does that mean? I didn't know yet that that meant Chinese medicine. I didn't know that was going to be my path. I didn't even know it existed. But I would just say, look, I don't know. I'm just going to try to heal them naturally first. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll do surgery. Then I'll have pharmaceuticals, you know, on board. And then just long circuitous way here, you know, as we were talking about before, I've been an event coordinator. Food is a huge part of my life. I went to culinary school. Yoga, I trained in yoga pretty intensively for several years and taught for a while, and all of those things have fed into the way that I treat my patients now and the kind of team that we attract as a practice.
And what have you seen the most success with? Can you pinpoint it, or is it different for every patient?
It's different for every patient. I mean, the most common outcome is that somebody comes in, I'll just use an example for golfers or tennis elbow, and they think they're going to come for 10 sessions to get rid of that, and they do, but they realize how much else they're getting out of it.
Okay,
So they
articulate
stay.
a little bit more on that. I mean, so like you mean like psychological issues or okay. Gosh, this sounds like my experience. I had a tennis injury and I went in and started getting massages and we didn't do any kind of cupping or Chinese medicine, but that's how I first got interested in this stuff is because I think there's such a mind-body connection.
There is. That's my thing. I really can get on my soapbox about that. We've really done a number on ourselves by separating mind and body, treating them as though they're different parts of ourselves when of course they're completely and totally interconnected.
Is that the main difference, would you say, between Chinese, medicine and Western? Or
Yes, yeah. I try to avoid comparing because, of course, there's a place for both types of medicine. We have I personally value Western medicine tons. I'll use it if I need it, of course, But yes, there's inherently, Western medicine has to be reductionistic in its approach and in its understanding. It has to get to that very little nitty gritty, but in so doing, we tend to forget the big picture. And the big picture involves your psycho and social and spiritual wellness.
Yes. Well, I'm intensely interested in acupuncture. I think everyone I know has said it's an incredible remedy for so many things, but I'm always scared of the needles. So, I mean, I know you brought some needles with you. I would love to just kind of get a sense of what, if you don't mind, just kind of show me what.
Yes. And to ease your nerves, I'll tell you, you can fit about 150 of these pins inside one syringe.
Oh my gosh.
So just to begin with, they're much, much smaller, but also a syringe is made to have a beveled edge so that it will cut, right? It has to get into your vein or take something out of your vein, whereas these do not need to cut you. Okay. So they just glide right in.
Okay.
And it's no big deal.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's take a look because I'm,
Okay.
I might be a convert here.
Yeah. It's in.
Okay. I did not even feel that.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So how many sessions, and I'm assuming you would put more than one pin.
Yes.
Let's say that I came to you for insomnia. How many sessions would you typically recommend?
I try to tell people 10 to 12.
Okay.
It's a gentle but effective medicine. So consistency and commitment are key for sure. Every now and then you hear about somebody saying, "Oh, I tried acupuncture, it didn't work." Well, how many times did you go? Once.
No.
Well, of course.
Anything you have to do it more than once to see a result.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, So, and you said you can treat for any sort of ailment, really. Like if can you tell me some of the kind of symptoms that you treat?
Yeah, you mentioned sleeplessness, anxiety, depression, of course, any physical pain, digestive stuff that goes on with people. That can be any number of things. Migraines, do a lot of cancer care support so that they're doing their chemo and radiation, but they'll come to us right after to try to mitigate, the nausea and depletion in energy. It can help them rebound their blood levels a lot quicker.
Are there things that people can do? Let's say that someone comes to you for treatment and they're doing treatment with you, but also at home for themselves? Okay.
I'm glad you said that because, of course, for the mindfulness and psychotherapeutic sides of our business, they've been able to really seamlessly continue to function and care for our community remotely. But acupuncture, of course, you couldn't do a 6-foot distance acupuncture session. So at first, to be as cooperative and helpful as we could, we just shut down altogether. And we're slowly opening and able to see patients now. But I really had this moment. I think it was it Friday the 13th or 15th of March? I just remember
when it started.
That day.
I remember that day.
All realized we got to go home, and who
Stuff's
knows when we're
going to
coming
happen. Yes,
back, And I just said to myself, if people can't get here for care, we're going to have to get to them. And thankfully, a couple years ago, I had this idea for self-care wellness care packages, essentially. And just with my patient load and stuff going on in life, didn't have the hours to give it. But one of the silver linings for me during this period of time is I've been able to bring it to life. So now we have a shopping site for self-care.
That's great.
That goes along
So
with
what
our
is in one of your
services.
boxes, in one of your self-care boxes?
Well, it depends. We have them based on remedies. So there's a calming box, a digestive box, a sleep box, one for immunity boosting, just about anything. PMS, menopause. There's a fertility bundle for
Oh, that's
pregnancy,
interesting.
infertility. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. So when someone comes to you suffering emotionally, physically, what have you, what do you do with that?
Well, the first thing we want to do is really walk with that person in their suffering. We're so acclimated to slapping a Band-Aid on something or just walking away from discomfort as quickly as possible, but there can really be something sacred about the period of time that it takes to heal. Mm-hmm. And so having a practitioner that can really meet you where you are and walk you through the steps and help you have and build and really get to know the tools that you're going to need for the next crisis, because we all know there's going to be a next one down the road. That's just how life is. Mm-hmm. But I like the analogy of, like, if your boat is leaking and you're in the boat and your boat is your body, your mind, your soul, everything, and you're constantly having to scoop out water.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just seal the boat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's just get to the root of the issue,
right,
rather than skimming off the top.
Right. And I think so many people think of, I do at least, holistic medicine or Chinese medicine or all of this stuff as sort of a luxury. Mm-hmm. But, I think that mindset is flawed in a sense.
You're right. And I struggle with that too. But some of what I want to do with these self-care remedy boxes is really make self-care as easy and attainable as possible, and to remind people that self-care is not selfish. Self-care is everyone care, because of course when we're depleted and we're constantly scooping water out of the boat, everyone around us suffers too. It's not just us kind of martyring our way through life,
That makes sense.
Right. So if we can truly take care of ourselves, not only are we teaching the little ones around us really good habits, but we're going to have better relationships too, because we're more sound in all of the ways, the mind, body, spirit, soul, all of it. It's crucial. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of the center, I'm so excited to come and experience it for myself, but you're expanding.
Yeah. And since it's quarantine still, COVID, we're, treading lightly into physical space. However, we've started a roundtable discussion podcast called Get Centered. And so people can tune in if they want to and essentially hear all of us as a team discuss issues. So we'll bring up topics that might be what we're seeing in our patients. If it is anxiety, for example, or parenting has been a big one during this time. Kids at home more.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we're human too, and we have the same curiosities about human nature and behavior and how the body works. And so we essentially just have a fun conversation, and people can watch or listen if they want to.
It must be so fulfilling for you to see clients feel better.
I couldn't do what I do if I didn't see it all the time. It's super, super, I'm humbled by it, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Leila Scott, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Me.
Thank you for doing what you do, and I hope that you the best of success in your new endeavors.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. So the body really is its own pharmacy. It's built to heal. And so all the modalities we're using are essentially triggering your body to remember its inner wisdom. Instead of overriding the body, we're working with the body. And so this is just a sampling of the kinds of things you might see at your acupuncturist or Chinese medicine practitioner's office. These are glass cups, which we use for fire cupping, really great for stubborn, stuck pain, and a number of other things, but mainly for the pain. These are ear seeds, which if somebody wants to have acupressure delivered all week between their sessions, we can apply some ear seeds and they can just reach up and squeeze them. We've placed them on dedicated spots pertaining to whatever they're dealing with. And then, of course, we have our acupuncture needles, which we talked about being tiny and meant to glide right in. Yeah. We have our Chinese herbs coming in, capsule form, tea form. I love telling people, especially right now during, COVID concerned times, that silver is amazing to just spray it in your mouth twice a day, instead of having to use something harsher. It's even great for surfaces. You can get the kind of silver used for cleaning surfaces. This is a skincare line that I'm just beginning called Trini. This is our facial plump and glow serum, and been received really well so far. A gua sha facial tool and a jade roller.
Oh, I'm dying to have one of those.
Yes, I'll give you this one.
I
Never
don't know what
been
it
used. Yeah, it's amazing. You can, a little trick, you can keep them in the fridge, and this side is for the eye area.
Okay, yeah, I
And
knew
so
that.
it's depuffing in the morning. So yeah, there's just endless ways we can work with people.
And this is your box. This is your wellness.
Yes, this is one of our Psyche Soma wellness care packages. This one is the Calm. So we have a candle. This one is the Heart Chakra Candle by Young Gentry. I'm a huge fan of the Lotus Way products. And this is a flower mist called Inner Peace and a bath salt called Quiet Mind. This is one of our house blends of tea. It's just super calming to the nervous system. And functional mushrooms to help calm your nerves and boost your immune system.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.